This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian, Sebastian, movie reviews and more. And as usual, doing last minute things. All these things come to you last minute and you just never know what's going to go on. But you know, you make everything work and you make everything happen. And so today's 188 live shows in a row. The streak is still going. And obviously we are live on Talk 4 TV, K4 HD Radio, Talk 4 Media, and streaming live around the world on over 100 platforms, which is great. And it's always good to see Linda Steele from Chicago. It's always good to see Carol from Florida. Everybody's got different weather. And Matthew's back. You know, it's good to see him again from Chefpaw. And we got someone new named Mo. We can't hear to wait to hear from him, which will be quite interesting. And I have to thank Rita for putting everything together because Matt, you've been scheduled for over 4 months when you were last here, so that's a good thing. But you know, the fun thing about this, Mo, welcome. My sister went to Ohio State, so I'm a Buckeye fan. So you know, you may or may not be a football fan. I am not, but I still root for them. Just like I'm a Chicago Bears fan, even though I don't live in Chicago. But I love what Linda does because when they're grown there from Chicago, you can't go wrong, especially with her family that she has and that international best-selling book. And then you've got that neuro coach, Carol, registered out of Florida, which she will tell you more about. And I knew she was going to like you, Mel, which will be quite interesting. And you might even like her. And then we got Terry. It's good to see Nonstop Mary from Sherman Oaks, California.
I don't live in Sherman Oaks. I'm not in Sherman Oaks.
That's right. She moved. I'm not going to say where she moves. I like to keep things secret unless she gives it out. But she moved to a better place. And I'm very, very happy for her. So that's the good thing. Hey, so, hey, Matt, let's start with you because you haven't been seeing. I told you Rita's listening and watching. We haven't had you on, but there's been a couple people asking about your products and all the stuff that's been going on. Yeah. What's been happening with you lately? You got better internet connection this time, which is great. You were good last time, which was okay too. But, you know, you came back, so I'm happy about that. What's been happening with you? And then tell everybody, in case they don't know your story, about how you started with everything with your partner.
Chefpaw is the greatest advancement in pet food nutrition in the last 20 years. I created it for my own dogs. It's a machine that mixes and cooks dog food, and it goes along with an app that we created specifically to analyze the nutritional yield of any recipe and then compare that to the nutritional need of a specific dog, not just dogs in general, but your specific dog based on its unique pet profile. And it streamlines everything. We have over 100 recipes that are balanced far beyond AAFCO standards. So it really, and it also drives the cost down, the cost of fresh food. So we're basically have gotten the cost of the highest quality fresh pet food down to the cost of kibble and kind of even cheap kibble. It's better than it's even less expensive than more expensive grades of kibble. And we since we last spoke, we won the best new product of the year at 2025 at Super Zoo.
Hey, isn't that great? That's always good to see. I follow you guys to see what you guys are doing because I like your product. And your product is the best out there. And congratulations on all the stuff you've been doing, especially for us dog lovers. And there's a lot of us out and a lot of us watching, which is good. Hey, Mo, talk to everybody. And I let me see it if I can say this correctly, because I have a couple of friends who have the same last name, but they pronounce it differently. Abouelsoud?
Yes, that's good.
Okay. That's important because I'm not good when it comes to the names. I've never been to my strong point, but out of respect, I think that's important to have that correctly. Talk about you, because you're a different type of engineer, a different type of scientist. You are that neuro coach, like Terrill's a neuro coach in a different way, but it's always about the brain. But also when you can help people in other countries, which is what I like, because I always tell people mental health and, all the problems that people are having as they're starting to get older, it's not just a U.S. problem, it's a worldwide problem. And people tend to forget that. And I'm always thinking of some of my friends that I'm talking to, whether in Singapore or in Japan, the things that they go through because they eat different types of food and they don't always have the same problems like some of us Americans do. Talk about how you started this interesting thing in your apartment and where you are now, because you're a young guy. And I'm fascinated how you deal with everything, because I have a lot of my friends that go through and are dealing with what you created.
Yeah, no, my name is Mohammed Abouelsoud. I started this company when I was a student at OSU. I studied neuroscience and physics, and we develop neuromodulation devices for Parkinson's disease. For Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, as well as psychiatric disorders. So these devices send electrical pulses to certain regions of the brain to activate that region. And when you activate the region, you can control specific tremors of the patient or increase cognition in patients with Alzheimer's disease.
Talk about that, how important that is, because I'm always getting ready this time of the year to go to CES show, Consumer Electronics Show, and I'm always meeting with those CEOs on products like this that may not be out there, that people may not know exist. And I'm like, all of these things exist. You may not have seen it, but I've seen it firsthand. And those things are really, really important. Talk about what you made that out of, and you experimented on yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, experiment.
What are you, nuts, a wacky scientist?
What?
Are you nuts, a wacky scientist?
I could be, man. I had to fix myself right? Zap myself right. No, I was a college student when I started this company, so I started it when I was 20. And I was dealing with my own mental health problems as a young man. And the medications for depression don't really work. So I created my own unit, and I created the device, and I started using it every single day to actually target specific areas in my frontal lobe. And so this is actually one of our older prototypes that we made, but I still use it every single day. And it was kooky at first, right? It was a little kooky. It was like,
is that the one right there, Mel?
That's the new one that you have right there. That's the new one.
Yeah. This is incredible. Cool. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, right? The ability to pinpoint and stimulate very specific areas with an electrical current, correct?
Yes. And what was the most amazing part was I actually saw what it did to my brain and how it grew my brain and how it increased my focus and emotional attunement, where I was like, wow, this is definitely going to help many, many people. That's one of the hallmarks of the tech, really the driving force of the company, is that I saw it work for my brain. I saw it work for me. And so that's why I'm the motivator behind it, because I'm like, guys, no, it worked for me. You try it.
So, Mo,
go ahead, Linda.
When you're using this device, how long do you have to use it? How long do the effects last?
Yeah, so I use it for 15 minutes a day. I use it in the morning when I'm answering emails. And the effects build up over time. It's very similar to bodybuilding or exercise, where the more you lift, the more muscle you have, and the bigger muscles you have, and the stronger muscles you have. So what happens is when you send the electrical current into the frontal lobe, into the front part of your head, what happens is that you activate that like a muscle. Activate. And so it strengthens, the connection strengthens to grow more, the more you use it.
Wow.
Can you feel it instantly when it's on, or is it something that it's something that you can't like actually feel like a pulse or anything like that?
Oh yeah, you can feel zaps. People know that's actually one of the indicators. We're like, they're like, there's a little zap. It's not too bad. It's like a little pricks. The first time you use it, definitely I noticed like the the colors were brighter. Like you were kind of really more in tune with everything. And then that slow build up over time where it's just like you're becoming really happy with, the reality around you. And that's because we're targeting the region in your brain associated with empathy, associated with emotional control, associated with focus.
Wow.
Hey, Matt,
What
Just
specific region is that, Mo?
Interior cingulate cortex. There's something called the anterior cingulate cortex. It sits right behind prefrontal lobe. It connects like emotional centers, frontal lobe, anterior cingulate cortex, right there. So the electric field actually moves across that region and helps strengthen it.
And as you begin to use it over time, as you mentioned, it builds. How is that affecting your subconscious?
Yeah, that's a really deep question. It's a really important question, especially with all of our psychiatric patients. So what ends up happening is we allow gently for the higher cognitive system, the frontal lobe, speak to the lower emotional systems more and more. And so when they're talking more and more, we open up the pathways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Memories come up, ideas come up. But when they come up, you can think about them. You can rewire them. You can understand them. So when we deal with a lot of psychiatric patients tend to relive memories gently and be like, that's why I did that. That's why she said that. It wasn't about me. It was about her. And they're able to understand their thoughts more.
Hey, Matt, when it comes to animals, I was always fascinated about a lot of my friends around the world have rescues. It doesn't matter if it's a possum or whatever. And I was always interested in what kind of problems do they have that someone's not paying attention to. I remember when I had my horse ranch, we had a dressage and we took in problem horses. And I would find each one of them fascinating. Some of them could go out with others. Some of them couldn't. Same thing with dogs. You never know what problem a dog may be coming with, but at the same time, it's because something usually a human did something to it, right?
Yeah. No, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, Mo. I was thinking, is there a way to use that on dogs too? Because there's a lot of dogs that I have one that is really highly trained, but he gets into a rut and gets really reactive, and he makes a scene, and it's and everything it's so incredibly he builds up a walk so much that he just like it makes his dog scream that like gets everyone's attention, and it's something needs to like break that cycle. I don't know how to do it.
The answer, seriously, the serious answer is probably sure. Obviously we have to do it in experimental settings. We have to get approvals and all that. But the idea of using...
Wait a minute, Mo. You didn't approve yourself when you did this in your apartment. What are you talking about? You just went and I can just see you putting up little probes and I think this will work. What would have happened if something went wrong? Were you by yourself?
Yeah. Did you have someone there to spot you?
I was with a friend one time, but I've been studying this field for years. It wasn't like willy-nilly. Like I have a very deep background in this science and tech that I knew exactly what I was doing. I was scared the first time. I will say that my hands were shaking. I was like, what's going to happen?
I had a question on that. Because so you said this helps prevent, so it helps with memory loss. It would help prevent. It helps prevent dementia because just lost my mom this year. I just kind of wish something was there around to help her, or how can it help somebody that's already kind of far gone with it? Would it help with some of their memory, or how would that work?
So we've run studies, and obviously we're not approved by the FDA yet, but our working hypothesis and based upon our observations is that this will be a very strong preventative tool. In fact, we have many healthy people using the device. We have doctors using the device to stimulate their focus because they're working several hour-long shifts. So the idea of using it as preventative medicine, absolutely, we're very confident in that direction.
Yeah, it's very similar to how we're using good nutrition as preventative medicine too. You can the changes that it does in a dog to have them have a really healthy microbiome and getting a full rounded meal with consistently everything that they need and the right calories, makes all the difference. And it cuts down on medical bills tremendously.
You know, Matt, it's interesting because our animals are reflecting our human diseases right now with, you know, reacting to
chemicals,
gluten, to dairy, to you know, having symptoms, fibromyalgia-like symptoms and autoimmune diseases that are popping up. And these are things that we know are solvable with nutrition.
Yeah,
and
it's magnified. It's magnified in them because they're getting their lifespans are shorter. Their metabolisms are higher, and also the corners that are cut with ultra high processed foods for human food. The corners, those corners get cut even worse with dog food. So those problems that we're seeing, those health problems that we're seeing from ultra processed food in us, it's magnified in them. And so to a certain degree, they're showing us the way, and they're showing us in a much faster with much faster feedback how things can be improved. I mean, I've improved my own nutrition more than the past 2 years. Because of developing the food for the dogs and seeing what changes that have. I've done more for my own nutrition in the past 2 years than I did in my whole lifetime combined before this.
Wow. Linda Steele's a perfect way to segue to you. Tell them who you are, what you're doing about your book. And say hi to your mom and your friends and your family.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
The health club is watching. So my front desk staff is watching. Hey guys. My mom is on. My daughter made a comment. So I have all kinds of people watching. This is so fun.
Yeah.
My name is Linda Steele. I am an international best-selling author with my book called Nerves of Steel. I cover how to take negative energy and turn it into something positive. And we all have plenty of that going on in our lives. So, and that's something that you kind of take on till the end. Life's always coming at you, isn't it? And I'm also a personal trainer and nutrition expert. I've been in the industry for about 20 years. I was a nationally ranked personal trainer with the company that I started with, the gym I started with. Out of 4,500 trainers, I was the number one female trainer nationwide. And they based it on a bunch of different criteria and so forth. I had a wait list on my schedule and so many skills and so many clients a day. And from there, I went and opened up my own gyms. I owned and operated several gyms in the Chicagoland area. I am now the senior operations manager at a club in Itasca, Illinois called Hamilton Lakes Athletic Club. Thanks, guys, for watching. My front desk staff is watching. And I've been there for about 2 years. I'm also, oh, hi, Jeff. Jeff is on. And I've been at this club for about 2 years, and we've made a huge difference in profits and profitability and membership base and so forth. So I'm just loving it. Everything is good.
Good for you. Hey, Terry, tell everybody where you're from, and we're going to show this video and then follow by Carol. But the reason why it's important to Terry's question, Mo may not be able to say this, but I can say it. Yes to your answer, Terry, because I've seen what he's done. I didn't know who he was, but I saw this and I'm like, well, this is fascinating because I'm always looking for these things. That's why I love going to the CES convention, because I find these things that nobody knows exist. They're just waiting for things. Because Mo, sometimes you have to wait a long time in this country. Other countries aren't, like that. But your success rate is kick ass. I got to say that. Congratulations on that. Go ahead, Terry.
Oh, okay. My name is Terry Marie. I've been with Brian for over 10 years. I do all his red carpet hosting for all the celebrity events. I'm also from the world of fitness. I've won several competitions on NPC. I was Miss Fitness LA. I won first place in Muscle Beach. It was my first competition that I competed in when I was 46 years old. I'm now in my late 50s, and I really try to stress diet and health, especially for women as we get older, because it's so important to be able to be eating right and staying active. I also work in the field of orthopedics as a rep, but I work with athletic trainers and sports medicine doctors with ACL, back issues, arthritis issues. So that gives me, so I'm in the world of medicine, every day. So this stuff kind of fascinates me because brain health, knee health, diet, it's all important to your longevity and how healthy you are in life. Also, I, just lost my mom had a, dementia, was disabled. So I see how things can escalate really quickly with our health. So it's really important, that I, start speaking about these things, because I could see how the knee health will go to the diabetes, to the heart problems, to the memory loss. So it's all connected, and diet is really important. So, I totally agree with what you were saying with the animals, because our body doesn't know how to process some of these chemicals that we're eating. And that's why we've got a more of a overweight population than we used to. And then again, that just affects your overall health. So anyway, so I just find that, both you guys fascinating with this stuff today.
Yes.
And Carol, when we come back after this video, you get the first question.
Okay.
All right, Rebel, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is actually a lengthy video, but it's a good video. And I'm going to I advise when to pause. This is a patient with tardive dyskinesia, medication-induced dyskinesia. This is what occurs when patients have been taking Sinemet, or the traditional dopamine medications for Parkinson's, for many years. Eventually, their receptors, their brain becomes desensitized, and the medications don't work anymore. And actually, their symptoms get a lot worse because they need way more dopamine than they originally started. And so what you see here is a patient that is experiencing those symptoms. Then he received stimulation. So he received the electrical stimulation down the cortical spinal tract. This is 3 days after electrical stimulation. He received it for 15 minutes a day. Now, one thing that we notice immediately is the massive reduction in uncontrolled movement. So he has much more control of his body. And more importantly, his motor lobe, his motor cortex, and his brain is undergoing reorganization. So it's reorganizing right now. It's like he received this new stimuli and saying, whoa, what's going on here? Okay. So that's why he's moving slowly, because he's like trying to relearn his body. He's trying to relearn himself. If you fast forward, I don't know if you can fast forward here, Rebel, sir. If you can, just fast forward to the next last day. Yep, there we go. So in the last day, this is 15 days of stimulation. There's two things to notice. Number one, symptoms return in his lower extremities. But number two, he has controlled intentional movement in his upper extremities. So he's actually speaking, and he's controlling the way he speaks, controlling his hand movements. Now, we hypothesize that we need to modify the electrical positioning to be able to target his legs more instead of just his hands. So we have to modify where on the brain that we need to stimulate. But this is really great results over 15 days, and the patients were very happy. And one of the most important things is that he has a lot of control in his neck. If you remember that first part, his neck was moving around in an uncontrolled fashion. Very dangerous, especially with that very sensitive cervical region. So his ability to control his upper extremities, his necks, is stronger now. And so we appreciate that. So you can pause the video over here. But this is one of our infamous cases. We have, over the past 8 years, over 250 patients. And we just completed a 30-patient trial in the Middle East with Parkinson's disease, but we're very happy with our result. We're very happy that it's on video, too, so we can showcase other patients about our technology.
Wow.
Mo, my mother has Parkinson's disease. I definitely want to talk to you on a sidebar about this.
Sure.
I would like to see if something could help her. But my question to you is, what is the process like going through the FDA? Like, how long have you already been in with everything? What stages do you have to go through? How long is this process taking?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've met with the FDA 3 times already. We have to run a pivotal trial, so a 200-patient Parkinson's trial, 200 patients.
Yeah.
And we use that trial to be able to get through the FDA. So we have trials internationally. We have trials in the Middle East. We have trials in Africa. We had sending a trial in Mexico. But we need to have a USA trial because the FDA wants trials in the USA, the USA population. So right now we're raising money, 5M, to be able to run the trials and to be able to get the products through the FDA. But as soon as the trial is completed, the trial will take, one patient will take around 9 weeks. As soon as the trial is completed, we'll be going to the FDA very quickly because we have all the documentation ready. We're just waiting for the new data to come in.
Mhm.
It's just like a lot of the new products that come out. When I see them at CES, and I'm getting a bunch of emails right now, they're already outside the US. Most of the time it's been 2 or 3 years that things have been up and running. And I'm like, give it to me. Let me be the first. So it's like this device that I'm wearing. I've had 4 years.
Yeah, I volunteer.
I've never had COVID or any of that stuff. So I love getting those things like that because I'd like to be the first to try them on my friends. Because when I see them and Matt see my friends' animals and the rescues, I'm like, okay, what happened to this dog? I wish the dog could just talk to me. I could talk back to him and say, what happened? How can I help you? Well, where are you hurting? That's because I'm looking at them and then they become friends because I'm usually go to my friends' houses and I'm helping them with rescues and they end up being my friend. They like my energy. Something strange about my energy where the animals like it. So they start following me. They start sleeping in the same bed. They're not mine. So it's very fascinating when you can't take them for a walk. You watch and see. The dogs go for walks, and they like it because we're bonding. So it's very interesting what you created because it is about the dog food. Because I've seen some of my friends kibble. Give me a break. You know what I mean?
I'm really grateful that the pet food industry does not have that same level of burdensome regulation. There needs to be regulation, obviously, but when that regulation gets to the point like you're describing, Mo, where you have a great idea that makes sense and it's proven on its face, America shouldn't be the last place that it gets launched. It should be the first. Yeah. There shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to pause your innovation and then find out how to raise $5 million in order to take to the next step. That there should be a fast track for things that make perfect sense, just like that. And in our case,
go ahead. Sorry,
in our case, the whole pet food industry, it dodged a bullet recently where Congress basically took the AFCO standards and set them aside because the AFCO, the pet food industry, had created the AFCO as a governing body to set the standards for what's in dog food. And they tried to do a one size fits all approach, where if you're going to sell dog food, you need to make it cover all adult dogs or all puppies. And when you do things that way, you got to compromise. You cannot make a high calorie meal for a dog and have it also cover what a low calorie dog needs without compromising things in a whole bunch of vitamins and nutrient density in that. So it's luckily there's a degree of freedom that we have in the animal space that I really appreciate.
Mo, I'd love to talk with you separately, privately about the financing. That would be great. One of the things I'm curious about is, are you able to, you've talked about Parkinson's, you've talked about dementia, with the spectrum of things in the mental health realm, anxiety, PTSD, complex PTSD, bipolar, many different factors. Are you doing any work in those areas, any study in those areas?
So we actually, great question. And I appreciate that, Matt, for the comment. Yeah. We have started in the psychiatric field. Actually, we started with depression, bipolar, generalized anxiety disorder. And we were very happy with the results that we're seeing. In fact, one common trait is that with all patients, Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or multiple sclerosis, all patients tend to see an increase in elevation in their mood because we're still targeting that same central hub. Now, the reason why we shifted away from psychiatric disorders is because psychiatric disorders are sometimes very environmental. You have a situation where somebody just broke up with their girlfriend, right? Or, there's a passing in the family, right? An early passing and unexpected. No amount of stimulation is going to change that, right? That just there's a natural grieving cycle. There's a natural cycle in which the brain has to undergo to be able to cope with that. And so we actually shifted away from psychiatric to Parkinson's, and we chose Parkinson's because it's visual. It's very obviously it's you can sell it quickly, seriously, because you can see it and you can be like, oh, this works. But we do have many psychiatric patients utilizing the tech, and we're very interested in hyper focusing on that domain in the future.
Yeah, I think your potential is limitless, really, for any type of a brain disorder, whether it's psychiatric or not. The potential is limitless, similar to the way a TENS device for muscular problems can be for every type of. It doesn't just you don't have to limit it just to a pulled calf or a strained neck or anything like that. It's all muscles. If it's tuned right, it can work for everything.
Yeah, and that's great that you brought that up. If everybody knows what a TENS unit is, we are basically a really optimized TENS unit. So it's a TENS unit at the core. It's that simulation at the core. So.
But highly specialized. I can imagine there's an infinite amount of research that was needed to transition from one thing into the other.
Yeah, not as much as you think, but yeah. Infinite, we'll say it. We'll make ourselves sound like that, but there's more research. We'll say that for sure. Though.
Mo, are you currently selling the device under like coaching, mentoring type thing, or I don't know how you categorize it, but
so we have two ways to acquire our technology. So number one, we do have a clinical trial that's being set up now, should be public and released in a week or two. If you log on to our website, you can join the wait list, and we will ship the unit over to your house, and you can meet our doctors via teleconference. So it's going to be a complete remote virtual trial. We meet our doctors via trial, and we use the device at your clinical setting at home. That's the first way you can acquire the unit for your Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. The second way is that we do have a consumer version that's much lower powered. It's still the same physics, the same science, but we have people using that. Like that's where the doctors are using it. The doctors are using that unit to be able to enhance their focus, enhance their neuroplasticity. So that unit is in small number of batches, but also available for public.
Wow.
Hey, Matt, all the time I see, I'm just thinking of dogs and some cats. I remember I took care of a rescue pit bull, which was white, beautiful dog. And the one thing I know, it didn't want to eat when its owner left. I figured it out. There's nobody tell me. I figured it out. It was just lonely. It missed its owner. Its owner was gone for 2 days. It didn't want to do anything. So I started walking it, started to liven up, but it still wouldn't eat. It barely drank water. I'm like, oh, I think it's lonely, not only missing its owner, but maybe for companionship. So I walked it with a smaller dog, and all of a sudden it got happy. And I'm like, that's what it is.
Yeah,
so I figured out a lot
animals.
of these things like this. Most of it is the food, and the other part is going back to the brain. What happened to make this dog like this? But it was one of the most sweetest dogs. Every pit bull that I've ever met, it's been the sweetest dog. It's been the humans that screwed it up.
Yeah. Well, they're very social animals, just like we are. So the amount of harm that lack of socialization can cause is equal in dogs as in humans.
Oh, and your products that you sent out to two of my friends, they love them. They wanted me to thank you specifically because they could see the difference in their dogs.
Matt,
talk about those products.
Tell me, I was just going to ask about your product because I know it's dog food, but is it something that combines all the dog food together? What exactly is your product?
Well, yeah, it's primarily at its core. It's a small countertop machine. Actually, you can see one right there.
Hey, Rebel, let's go and take a close up. Let's see that.
Well, my computer's a little.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's, there's two of them. There's two of them right there. Because I'm about to make 2 batches of food. My dog, my Labrador needs incredibly high calorie recipe. He's very, very athletic. This dog runs like a greyhound. It's like 27 miles an hour. Whereas my bulldog, he is allergic to just about everything. So the bulldog cannot eat what the Labrador eats, and the Labrador can eat what the bulldog eats, but he'll lose weight. So when I'm stocking up on food, I take too much. Actually, what I'm doing is I take we offer people a free 30-day trial with our machines, because we don't want them to be stuck with the machine if it's not going to work out for some reason. If it ends up that they don't have time to make food, most people see that no matter what, it's worth the time. But for some people, it's not, for whatever reason. And actually, unfortunately, the real sad thing is sometimes that their pets die after the machine arrives. We don't want them to be stuck with the machine in that circumstance. So we take it back. But I personally take the machines home and then I test them for making batches for my own dogs. And so, yeah, that's what I'm about to make two batches there. The machine, it mixes and it cooks, and it cooks at low temperature. And there's very little. It's almost pressure cooking there, but there's no actual pressure buildup. But there's no water. There's almost no water loss in it, and it has a built-in scale. And then you combine that with the software that we created for all these different recipes and all the different pet profiles and that, and it simplifies everything to just down onto your phone and simple step. You pick the pet, select the recipe you want that fits that pet. And then just simple step-by-step directions, and saying add 49 grams. And the order in which you add directions is the order in which you add ingredients is also really important. Some ingredients are heat sensitive, so you won't want to add them at the end after the cooking cycle is done. The software that we made simplifies all that, just streamlines all of it.
Can you give us an example of what you would put in your, like, say you're going to make some food for one of your dogs. Give us an example of what you put in, like a cup of potatoes, a cup of chicken, a cup of, like, what do you put in it?
Oh yeah. The first one I'm going to be making tonight is our allergy-free recipe. That is one of our widest variety of. It works for the widest variety of dogs, including my bulldog. It's sweet potato, ground turkey, olive oil, chia seeds. And there's some people think it's controversial, but yeah, basmati white rice. Yeah, like people say they didn't eat that in the wild. Yeah, they didn't eat it in the wild. We get it, but it's a well-rounded food in a lot of degrees. And for people that don't like grains, we have like 40 recipes that are grain free also. I think the calories are more important, but to each his own. We basically, I would put it this way. We designed the software and everything about Chefpaw to accommodate every conceivable nutritional school of thought, all into one.
So now you put all that in, and it comes out just mush. Does it come out? What does it come out looking like?
Well, yeah, we also plan for that whole range too. A lot of dogs like things really, really chunky, like my bulldog. So you can select the slowest mixing speed and slowest chopping speed. And then like my Labrador, he'll eat just about anything. But if the food's too chunky, he eats so fast, even with a slow feeder, that if the food's too chunky, he'll just swallow whole pieces and they won't digest properly. So for my Labrador, I crank the speed up one notch, and it gets this pieces just a little bit smaller, so that when he does this super fast inhaling of food, even with a slow feeder, that the digestion is perfect.
Okay.
That's amazing. And I know we talked about this last time, Matt, being dual voltage for other countries. Has anything moved forward in that way with the Chefpaw?
Yeah. The demand internationally is growing, so we're increasing our supply of the 220 volt units, and I've been testing them. I've been testing them on even remote situations like camping, using them with a generator, and in an RV and power inverters and all that kind of stuff. So we're really pushing the limits on what the machine can do, and we're developing a smaller unit for people that have really small dogs and want to make because that machine right there makes 6 pounds of dog food in 40 minutes. For a Chihuahua, for someone who owns one Chihuahua, that's a bit much. You have to freeze a lot of the portions in order for that to make sense. But so we make a smaller machine, and then we're also about to release a larger machine that makes 12 pounds in 40 minutes, and even another one that makes 32 pounds in 50 minutes. And that one I want to find a way to get that into shelters, into animal shelters, because I think besides all the great work that animal shelters are already doing, the single best way that we could help them and make pets more adoptable is improve their nutrition, give them fresh food, everything about them, and their adoptability improves. And really, that kind of gets to the heart of the matter of kibble. Kibble is its role was originally meant to be as a last resort. It's a ration. It's a shelf stable ration. It was never meant to be. It was like an MRE to the military. It's like a temporary source of food of last resort. And instead, somehow in the 60s and 70s and 80s, everyone got through mass marketing of the kibble industry, they got into thinking that kibble must be the best for dogs, and actually it's really the worst. It's the equivalent of eating McDonald's for us every day.
You know, Matt, you know what's funny? I always, when I go to my friends' houses and I see the open dog food, I have to remind them that dogs have the most sensitive noses. They know when something is not fresh. So, you always want to roll it and just make sure, because that's why some dogs won't eat food. It's just like humans. It's not fresh.
Yeah. My when in 2005, the Labrador that I had then, it was before I knew anything about fresh food, and I was shifting from kibble to kibble, trying to find him what I thought was the best food. I got a new kibble, and I gave it to him before I left for work. And when I came home, he had taken his bowl of food and he had pushed it across the living room over to a planter. And he had scooped the dirt out of the planter on top of the dog food, and then he just sat there. And he just sat there right next to it, facing the door. So that when I came home, like the message was crystal clear. He's like, what you just got for me, it may as well be dirt.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey Mo, you've been asked a question before.
Yeah, no, this is a serious question, Matt. For someone who, in the bodybuilding field, this could be used for, bulk protein for humans.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It sounds great to me.
I know.
You put it in,
all grab our
mixes it
spoon.
and cooks it. That's great. That's what I mean, man.
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%. We expanded our software, the platform and the architecture and the software, the architecture of the nutritional software that we created. I made it a common denominator platform so that it could be expanded to anything. It's because basically everything comes down to what's the nutritional yield per kilogram of food, and what is the nutritional need of the body per kilogram of body weight.
So I need to take the chicken breasts, right, and just put them in there. Watch a Netflix episode. 40 minutes later, I'm good to go.
Wait,
really? Really though? Like that?
Yeah, and well, you don't even need to watch a Netflix episode. All you have to do in our software is just select, put in the profile, and then select which recipe you want. And you can sort it in all kinds of different ways. We can filter in all kinds of different ways. Filter out ingredients that you don't like, and then we have these sorting options that are vast. You can sort from, the first one is cost per calorie, low to high. And then there's protein high to low, protein low to high, because for a lot of kidney issues, you want a low protein, or phosphorus low to high. Our software is so versatile that every time someone contacts us and says that they want recipes for a particular use, if we haven't thought of it, it's literally a matter of 5 minutes of coding, and we can change and accommodate their unique request. But right now, it has vast options for pets and for puppies, and we've got some options for cats, and we're going to add horses next, and then small animals, and then we're going to circle all the way back to humans.
Hey, I got a question for you, Matt. Linda Steele's got a Great Dane. What do you suggest for her?
Well, it would depend on if there's I believe you said that your dog is really picky about certain ingredients.
Yeah.
So the first thing, hands down, what I would suggest is go to our advanced editor, or I'm sorry, our advanced. We have an advanced editor that gets crazy detail that most people don't want for board certified nutritionists. But our advanced recipe search function is, I think, right up your alley, because you can put in your pet profile, and then you can say exclude ingredient in your pet profile. You can add ingredients that they're allergic to or that they don't like. And so it'll load these things automatically, but you could also manually just include, you could manually exclude the things like blueberries you said that your pet doesn't like. And then
some of these items, if they're like hidden in other foods, so it might be fine.
Oh, so it wants everything separate, like sort of like a little kid.
Something in her bowl, she'll leave like the peas behind. Like, how do you eat around a pea?
Yeah, that's we've seen that. We've gotten that feedback before from cat owners. It seems to be more prevalent with cats.
Yeah, she doesn't like carrots, doesn't like peas. I mean, she likes chicken, and the other day ate sweet potatoes. I was shocked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that case, you could use our software to say, all right, let's start a custom recipe and with chicken and sweet potato, and see what's the minimum. What does that cover? That'll cover a lot. But the main thing, it'll show you the first thing that it's not going to cover is calcium. So that gives you the first challenge is how do you get enough calcium into the dog for that.
Right.
Yeah, and we actually provide lots of different options for that. Eggshell calcium is a beautiful one. It's just powderized eggshells. It's odorless and tasteless. So if it was added in, I would be shocked. Your dog would be the first to be able to detect the difference.
Eggshells?
Powderized, like not just ground, because if it's ground, you can still taste it. It gets gritty, it changes the taste. But truly powderized eggshells, we sell powderized eggshells at the most affordable. If you look on Amazon too, we have it on Amazon. It's the most affordable eggshell calcium of its kind.
Interesting.
Yeah, that would
just texted me and asked if you guys do make dog treats. I mean, I suppose you can make dog treats out of it. No.
You could, you definitely could. That's an avenue I've explored personally with it a little bit. I've done a little bit of research with it, but we haven't made anything public about that. And we haven't made any public recipes about it, specifically for treats, because the demand is just so high for custom recipes for unique situations and unique dogs. And we're level 1 of our mixing makes it super chunky. Level 2 is divided up just enough for my Labrador. Level 3 and 4 give it even more fine, and then it goes all the way up to level 12 for pets that need sometimes pets recovering from oral surgery need to get hand fed. And so then that needs to get hand fed through a syringe, and they don't have the ability to chew. So everything has to be just ground up, like almost like baby food. And so we're able to accommodate that.
Hey, Matt, we got 2 minutes left. Give you social media links, and what should people be buying from you for this holiday season going into the new year?
Well, our social media links are official Chefpaw on Instagram, and you can get all the most information is available at chefpaw.com. You can also sign up for a free version of our nutrition app at app.chefpaw.com. And there's links to that also on chefpaw.com. And the absolute best thing you could get any pet owner this holiday season is going to be a Chefpaw machine. And we also have the refurbished units, the open box units that I personally test for my own dogs to make sure that they're just as good as a new unit. Those are available at a steep discount, and they have the exact same 2-year warranty as a new unit.
Okay.
Good. Terry Marie, social media links.
Terry Marie, nonstop on pretty much all platforms.
And Carol.
I'm at Carol Register on Facebook, LinkedIn, and NeuroCoach Carol on IG. People apply to work with me from all over the world. I'd love to chat with you.
Linda Steele.
Linda Steele Wellness on everything, Instagram and LinkedIn. and I don't have Facebook anymore. It got hacked.
And your book. Good, perfect time to buy books for December.
Yeah, if you want to buy my book, you can get it on Amazon, or you can go to my website, nervesofsteel.net.
Go to her website, support her.
Mm-hmm.
Small business is always important, especially macro-made meals too. Talk about that real quick.
Yes.
Hey, talk about that. That's important too.
So Macrame Meals is a meal prep company that my daughter and I own. She's primarily the brains and everything behind it. I help her a lot. I'm nutritionist.
Linda's the employee.
I'm the employee. Hilarious. But she is the brains behind it all. I'm the nutrition expert behind it all. So every now and again, she'll come up with a recipe and I'm like, I'm not sure about that. That's not going to be good if somebody wants to lose weight. We do have options. We have just the fun menu option. Then we have the macro-friendly options. So yes, macromademeals.com. That is another business that I'm involved in.
And Mo, how can people reach out to you?
So I have my LinkedIn. You guys could search me up at You, the Mind Company. It's the letter U, the Mind Company. And you'll find me, my LinkedIn, and our LinkedIn, our Instagram, our socials through that.
Hey, thank you for that. Keep that product going, especially outside the U.S. The U.S. is the biggest market that everybody wants to get into, but it's usually the last that people get those great products in because it takes so long. And so when I'm seeing my friends in France and Switzerland, all these great products that they send me, they could send it to me because I don't have to go through anything. And I love trying these products out. So, Mo, you're one of our new friends, and we can't wait to have you back. So, got to thank everybody because we are out of time. But here's what I always say. Have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. You see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours and support small business because the world needs it. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.